Mac, just the other day, I was having a discussion with really my only friend, my son, about school lunches. He was asking me about when I was a kid, what would I take for lunch? What would the snacks be? What would they be serving at my school? And I was having a tough time thinking back to the snacks that I was being given, but I feel like fruit roll-ups, fruit by the foot, and Gushers were the main ingredients.
So you were a home lunch guy.
Not a lot. No. So there were some, and granted, my mother would keep an eye on what the school calendar was. Now, he goes to a school where lunch is free, which is the best thing ever. I push
fantastic.
him every single day being like, just eat that lunch. I don't care what it is. Try it.
Yeah.
But my mother would always look ahead and be like, okay, I either don't want you to have this or I don't think you like this. So I was never able to because, you had to bring money for it.
Yeah.
I never got to have the pasta and meatballs or the meatball sandwiches there because my mother just thought, like, why would he want this? When, in fact, as a kid, I really, really wanted that.
Yeah, as a poor, I was eating school lunch all day, every day. I believe I had to pay for breakfast, but it was cheap. It was like a reduced price for breakfast. But that was my life, school lunch every single day for, 15 years, 13 years, however long it is?
Also, I'm pretty sure that elementary school, now we went to school in the mid-90s, elementary school until 2000, then middle school, early part of 2000s, high school until 07. If you went to school and you didn't have a lunch and you forgot your money, they would give you like a cheap ham sandwich, right?
I don't recall. They'd probably be like a YOU. What's that called?
A YOU? What's a YOU? That spells you.
What's the thing when you owe someone something?
A BYOB.
What's
an IOU?
Yeah, that's the one.
You can't do an IOU with a kid.
Sometimes Y and W. Goo, I don't remember any of that. And now when you're talking about it, going through the years, we also began school in an era where there's no computers in schools.
Yeah.
And when we graduated high school, that was the year the iPhone debuted. So that's insane to think about.
I do keep an eye on my son's lunch menu. First off, if he doesn't like something, I'll give him something. But also, I make sure that I don't double up on what he's eating. So I will change what I'm making for him not to have 2 spaghetti meals in a day.
So the school runs your life.
Basically. The school runs my life, which I'm perfectly fine with. He's there for like way too long during the day.
Yeah.
He was also asking, I'm like, oh yeah, we could buy snacks. And he's like, whoa, what would they have? And I didn't want to tell him that they would sell us candy. They would sell us ice cream bars.
Our freshman year, we had a massive selection and had the bakery with the cookies. But then once they redid it, they got a little healthier, and then it was like goldfish and chips.
No, but they would also have like Snickers ice cream bars, or like
there
Oreo
was an ice cream section,
like a big ice cream section. That I wouldn't want him having.
Well, they'd also we had like the regular lunch, and then we had like the deli area too. You could
that's in high school though. He's not in high school.
Oh, that's
now.
what I'm talking about. I'm talking about high school. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this though, Mac. As a kid, what was your favorite? You show up to school, you find out it is this lunch today. What got you the most excited?
That's a good question, Goo. We'd have sloppy joes often, pizza Fridays.
I know you like them sloppy.
You'd have those McRib type of things.
The Ribicue dippers. Don't say
maybe a couple times a month.
Oh my God, the Ribicue dippers, either on their own or in sandwich form. Better than McDonald's McRib sandwich.
It's the same thing.
It's better. Whatever they were serving. The last time I had a McRib, I had it during the pandemic. No, it was like, it wasn't even a meat. It was see-through.
Dude,
when you got down
20
to
years ago, too.
What?
That's what it was 20 years ago, too.
No.
I don't know if I had a particular favorite. I'm trying to think. What the lasting thing that really strikes me, though, is for breakfast, I would have 1 or 2 strawberry milks. For lunch, I would have 2 strawberry milks. I was drinking so much milk. And back in the day, too, for dinner, I loved a cold glass of whole milk. I was drinking so much milk. So much milk.
Okay, first off, you having so much strawberry milk?
Oh, delicious.
I would lose it on my kid if I found out about that.
What do you mean? He's just having a nice treat during the day.
I don't want him having all that sugary milk.
It's the same thing as chocolate milk, motherfucker.
Also, moving forward, you are the milkman.
So this is probably the 17th time I've tried to tell this story.
This explains my milky complexion.
I try, as you tried to dub yourself the Big Ragu, and it stuck, eventually turning into goo. I tried to dub myself the milkman by drinking a gallon of milk in an hour during college. And goo, I got to the final sip. I had, the shot-sized pour in a red Solo cup, that bottom line. That's all I had left to finish a gallon of milk in an hour. And they were counting down from 30 seconds. By the way, I was freezing. What they don't tell you when you try to drink a gallon of milk in an hour is you end up fucking shivering. It's so cold. I was very full. I just drank mostly a gallon of milk.
Yep.
I also had 7 Swedish fish that day.
7 bags or 7 Swedish fish?
7 total Swedish fish.
That's not that many.
That was the joke. The milk hit the back of my throat, and everything came right up into the garbage barrel. So I didn't earn the nickname the Milkman, so that was really
all you had to do. So you went for the short game.
If I didn't eat those 7 Swedish fish, I would have had room.
You went for a quick hitter trying to get that nickname in one day. You should have played the long game. Every day at breakfast, you show up, you're like, wow, this is really good strawberry milk. Then at lunch, you show up in the cafeteria. I'm really enjoying this strawberry milk.
I wasn't trying to earn nicknames in high school.
And then...
College, though.
Yeah. And then you get down there.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, but you should have taken this with you to college, where if you did this for a month, where you just had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, milk, you would have gotten your milkman nickname.
By the way, I have not stepped foot back on campus since I left.
That's because you threw up Swedish fish everywhere. You're not allowed back.
One goo, 3, yeah. Goo. Jaws 3. Goo. King of Queens. Goo. Meryl Streep. Entertainment.
I'm Goo.
And I'm Mac.
And we are the Mac and Goo program, here to bring you... What have you been watching?
What have you been watching? What have you been watching?
Tell me, Wesley, what have you been watching lately? Keep it short. Tell me right now. Shout out Norris the Terrible. That's his original song.
Yes.
If you're watching the video, it's just us singing. But in the audio version, it's probably him.
Peak.
Yeah.
Peak. Goo!
Yeah.
You and I were both invited to a heck of a screening this past week. I unfortunately had to work.
Yes.
But this is not only the earliest, but one of the cooler screening experiences we've been offered in our time as podcasters here. You were invited to go see a screening of Project Hail Mary,
yes,
the latest Lord and Miller film starring Ryan Gosling, at the Boston Museum of Science.
And I'll tell you right now, it was a unique experience, but, and this is really a first world problem, the screen was too big.
Yeah, so if you've never been to the Museum of Science in Boston, which is like kind of in Cambridge more than it is in Boston.
It's in Cambridge, yes.
Yeah. If you're not from the area or if you've just never been, they have this planetarium that you can go in there, and it's really cool. It is literally the whole the whole roof is a
big
screen,
dome. Yeah.
And the seats are aimed up. So I was curious about how this film would be displayed on that screen. And then when I saw your photo, I was tremendously underwhelmed.
Well, no. So that was just a picture.
Okay.
When it went to the movie, it was the full dome.
It was.
Yeah, but they said don't take any pictures.
Oh, wow. That's cool, Gil.
No, so for a movie like Project Hail Mary, it wasn't that bad because it wasn't an action-packed movie. A lot of it is just right here. We're in this practical spaceship, practical effects. So, like, there's not, like, action going on. If there was more happening in the movie where I had to run my head back and forth, whiplash.
Okay. I'd like to see Interstellar on that screen.
Well, they have said that they're going to put more space movies in there. So that might be one of them.
Goo, I know you loved Project X as a young man. Tell us briefly a tease about Project Hail
Yes,
Mary.
because I don't think the embargo on reviews, I think certain people are allowed to do it. I'm not sure if we are.
Tease or react.
Yeah, just
You
a quick
can't
reaction.
review,
I'll
yeah.
tell you right now, looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ryan Gosling, amazing in it. I can't think of the female lead. She's also very good in it.
Nice work. Nice work.
It does a great job of the way that the story is told, where it's a non-linear way of doing it, of finding out why he's in the spaceship, how we got to this in general. I loved all of that.
There's a little bit of a passenger situation going on, right?
Now, let me tell you this, Mac. My big question after the movie is, how much of it did I find entertaining and how much of it did I find interesting? And where does that come in between? And how do I want to view a movie? Because I think a lot of it was very interesting, but I wasn't entertained by it.
Okay. So, but it held your interest. So
No, it held my interest.
So that's what you're having trouble with as far as like what you're going to give it for a score. Give me a range of what you're thinking about dog score wise.
Oh, no, I'm definitely at least mid to upper 30s.
Okay. So do you think this has a chance to be the best movie of the year, or it didn't quite get there?
I don't believe it has the rewatchability.
Okay. Will this be in the will this be on a lot of people's year-end list of best movie of the year?
How truthful are people with themselves?
That's, I guess, for you to.
You know how people
figure out.
lie and they're like, this is the best, when in fact they don't really like
baby,
it that
no,
much?
No, don't lie.
I just gave you my answer.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm expecting to like it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It getting a screening 2 and 3 weeks early is impressive. We don't see that too often these days. So it sounds to me like the studio is confident in the product.
Yes.
And the pre-sale numbers are probably a little low, so they're trying to drive interest with some early screenings. and
Also,
reviews.
once again, looks fantastic, well written. I heard some book people on the way out complaining that they skimmed over or they rushed through a part of the movie.
What was Ryan Davey in the audience with you?
No, but they're like, oh, this part felt a little rushed. And I'm talking to myself, being like, it was 2.5 hours long. How long did you want this thing?
All right, so I'll see that in a week or two. There's a couple more opportunities. I'm not sure which one I'll catch. We'll be talking about that in a couple weeks, hopefully.
I read the book in preparation for the movie. Why? The movie's here now. This is the exact time where you never need to read the book ever again.
The rest of the movies we'll be discussing in the next 20 or 30 minutes, I would describe as middling. Movies that I don't know if anyone should be spending money on, but I'm interested to hear their opinions on it because I don't think there's a movie. Now,
I think there
didn't
are
see
some
two of the
skips in
movies.
here, but go ahead.
Okay. I don't think there's a movie in here that's really worthwhile of a solo episode, which is nice why we're doing it here today like this. But yeah, let's get in. And also, if you're looking for a fuller review on this first one up, Scream 7.
Yes.
Goo was on the #Dork podcast this week with Billy D, also talking this movie. So if you wanted a more lengthy
Keith was also
conversation-
there.
Yeah, that's implied.
Well, what if it was Davey?
Okay. So if you're looking for a lengthier conversation, go check that out.
Yes, the movie is Scream 7. This is the 30th anniversary of the original Scream, by the way.
96, that makes sense.
Yep.
Same weekend too, or?
I don't know, man.
All right. Nice research.
What a dumb question that was. Any more brain busters?
Goo, Scream 7 is making right now
Too much money.
over
Too
$100 million
much money.
worldwide and made 60-something million domestically in its opening weekend off a $45 million budget. It's going to make his money back and then
If
some.
I am the Scream franchise, if I am whoever runs it right now, I think it's, I don't know, is it still Dimension? I don't know who runs Dimension anymore. But if I'm them, I go to ChatGPT again and I say, hey, can you shit out a Scream 8 that we can put out in 2 weeks? Because the people are frothing at the mouth at this thing.
Goo, Scream 7 is an R-rated horror mystery and thriller with a runtime of 114 minutes, just shy of 2 hours. On Roddy Tease, Goo, 31% from the critics, 76% from the audience. On Metacritic, a 35. Goo, on the #Dork podcast, you gave it a
1.5 stone.
1.5.
I feel a little high on that. I should have just went with 1. But
Okay.
also, so I think the more damning number here, we were expecting a poor critic review.
Mm-hmm.
For a legacy sequel, for a movie franchise that people love, for the audience to only be at 76%, that says a lot.
Goo.
Yeah.
Little peek behind the curtain here. Keith gave it a 3. Billy gave it a 3.5 in your episode.
Yes.
I'm much closer to them than I am to you on
That's
this.
because you have no
I
respect
don't
for
know
this
who's
franchise.
shitting your Cheerios the morning of your Scream viewing, but I didn't mind it. I'm not going to say I liked it. I was entertained enough. There's some things in there you're like, I don't know why this is happening. But it was, as far as, shitty horror movies go, this was one of the more entertaining ones we've seen in the last few years.
This is the exact movie that Scream 1 from 1996 was railing against.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not
if
calling it
Nev
good.
Campbell was not in this movie, you would have no idea it's a Scream movie.
If this movie was called Knifey McStabby, you would be talking differently about it.
Save that name. Save that fucking name. I don't know if we want to use it as the title of our movie or the name of our killer. But he also uses a gun, which confuses the fuck out of people. I was thinking about that earlier, of you can have the same suspenseful movie as like a slasher, but instead of using a dumb knife, the guy uses a gun, right?
No, it's not as personal.
It's not as personal, but like, why are you bringing a knife? Where are you finding
I'd
a
like
knife?
forks. Give me a guy with 2 forks killing
Spoons.
people.
I've seen that you've played Knifey Spoony before.
Goo.
Yeah.
Scream 7 is written by Kevin Williamson, Guy Busick, and James Vanderbilt. Busick and Vanderbilt are the team behind the last 2. Williamson is the original writer in the Scream franchise. He wrote the first movie. It was his first ever writing credit. He also wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream 2, Scream 4. He was the creator of Dawson's Creek. He wrote and directed the fantastic movie Teaching Mrs. Tingle. He also wrote The Faculty. And he was the creator of the Vampire Diaries as well. So this man has had quite the career. And he came back to pen this after
90s teen dramas.
Yes. And he came back only after this movie fell apart at the seams. And they're like, Kevin Williamson can save it. And no, he couldn't. This movie's not good. Don't get me wrong. But
no, you just said it's great. What are you doing?
lampooned
Don't back
it.
off.
You lampooned it.
Don't back off.
Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt, again, they wrote the last 2 starring Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. Busick you would know from Ready or Not, Castle Rock, Screams 5 and 6, Abigail, Final Destination, Bloodlines. Also, he's got Ready or Not 2 coming out this year. Vanderbilt has quite the career, Goo. He wrote The Rundown, starring The Rock and Seann William Scott. Zodiac, the both amazing Spider-Man movies, White House Down, Independence Day Resurgence, Murder Mysteries 1 and 2, and Nuremberg. Upcoming, he has something called the Jansen Directive. So the amount of experience behind this movie, you would have led to believe you in thinking, despite all of the off-screen stuff that occurred with Ortega, Barrera, and the making of this movie, that these 3 could have saved this movie. And I do think that this movie is decent enough. I mean, we're seeing it with the box office, right? This movie didn't make me mad. Like, I was entertained. Yes,
No, it didn't
is
make me
barely
mad.
attached to the Scream
It made me bored.
world, but it was entertaining enough. Like, the pacing was good. Whether or not what you liked on the screen was good is up for you to decide, but I thought the pacing was pretty good. The story, not so great.
I thought the story,
But the pacing and the
was also
kills
clunky.
kept you alive a little bit.
I thought it was clunky. I thought the whole thing was clunky. I thought Nev Campbell did a pretty good job. But outside of her, I didn't really care for anyone else.
Well, I'll get to that, Goog. That's a great point about the anyone else. Synopsis: when a new Ghostface killer emerges in the town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. This movie stars Nev Campbell as Sydney Evans, her married name, Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers, Isabel May as Tatum Evans, that is Sydney's daughter, Jasmine Safori Brown as Mindy Meeks Martin, Mason Gooding as Chad Meeks Martin. We saw them in the last 2. They're the only real returning cast from the new couple movies. Anna Camp is here as Jessica Bowden, the neighbor of Sydney. Joel McHale plays her husband, Mark Evans, and he was terrible.
I didn't quite understand the casting on this, and I'm a big Joel McHale guy.
I'm not.
I know you're not, and I am, and I didn't understand it.
It was distracting. He was in a different movie.
He should have just started doing The Soup.
Celeste O'Connor as Chloe Parker, Tatum's friend. Sam Reckner as Ben Brown, the creepy boyfriend.
I barely know her.
Asa German as Lucas Bowden. He's the neighbor, Anna Camp's son, Jessica Bowden's son. We also saw him in Gen V. He's pretty great in Gen V. He's pretty good in this. McKenna Grace as Hannah Thurman. They do a little bit of a Drew Barrymore situation with her in this movie. Matthew Lillard, your boy Matthew Lillard, at least his digital presence is back in this movie.
And he is turned up not even to 11. He's beyond 11.
Yeah. And this movie's not good enough where there's going to be no spoilers here. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, stop listening right now because we're going to get into that.
Oh, we need listeners. Don't do that to us.
Last four here, Goo. Craig Dane plays Carl Gibbs, the creepy mental institution guy. Ethan Embry, 90s star. Ethan Embry plays the institution guard.
I didn't
Marco.
realize who he was.
Oh, the minute I saw him, I knew exactly the outcome
until
of this movie.
Keith said it on the podcast, and I'm like, no.
You didn't realize that was... Wow. Okay.
He's barely in the movie.
As soon as they showed him, you don't cast that role as that guy unless they're going to play a factor. Mark Consuelos is Robbie Rivers, and Roger Jackson is back as the voice. He's that iconic voice. Goo.
Hello, Sydney.
This movie.
Can you do it? Can you do it?
Hello, Sydney.
Both bad. Both bad.
This movie tries to flip the script and turn your classic screen movie plots upside down. But eventually, when you flip the script on a screen movie that's already flipped the script on normal movies, you get your run-of-the-mill horror movie.
You just become a normal movie.
Yes, and so that's really what this is. The killer's not in the room. It's not amongst the friends. It's just a couple of deranged individuals. The neighbor, played by Anna Camp, who once again, if you're casting that role with someone that notable, they're probably going to play a part later on. And so Anna Camp is obsessed with Sydney because she loved her book. And her
son is obsessed with the whole story of what Sydney went through.
Yeah. And you know, the book helped Anna Camp get through her marriage. We come to find out she actually killed her husband. And then Ethan Embry decides to help her, and they are the killers in this movie. And it's a pretty underwhelming reveal. So outside of the final 20 minutes, though, I didn't mind this movie.
When he pulled the mask off, I was just like, what?
I was like, yep, fully expected that.
What are we... I used to work for Google.
I did like Goo. There was a couple of things in this movie I liked. 3 things. Number one, I liked the opening 10 or so minutes with our boy Jimmy Tatro. I liked that they killed one of the Ghostface members of the crew, which we haven't really seen until the final act in a movie. That happens pretty early. And I did like this idea of kind of using technology to pull some stuff from the past into the present. My
favorite line of the movie has to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when so-and-so was like, you thought he was real? What are you, stupid?
Cool. I don't have much to say about this movie. I didn't expect it to be good. Following your review of it and your couple lines to me, I was expecting it to be the worst movie I've seen in a couple years. It's nowhere near that.
It's close to that for me.
To me, this movie was entertaining enough. I would have liked to have been eating some popcorn with it. It's like 22 hot dogs, 24 hot dogs, in that range. Maybe just sinking. Maybe it's barely floating. I didn't mind it.
Have a little more respect for fucking Wes Craven. I'm telling you right now, by the end of the year, when we do our Cinemac and Goovy Awards for 2026, yes, I know that we still owe you 2025. Look for it next week. This is going to win the Holding Pattern Award for let's just put a movie out to remind people that we're a franchise, and we'll get back to it later. I hated this. I hated everything about it. It was boring. It was clunky. It was...
See, I didn't think it was boring. Nonsensical, yes. Boring, no.
It didn't have any of the bite of a normal Scream movie. And don't get me wrong, I didn't love Scream 6. I thought Scream 6 thought that it itself
you know what
was
I like
too cool.
Too, before I forget? I like a panic room. We get a panic room.
Thank
in
you.
This movie.
I also thought that this movie didn't have any tense scenes.
Oh, wrong.
There was no tension. There was no scare for me.
I thought the pacing and the tension was the best part of the movie.
And when talking about this with Billy and Keith, it feels like they upped the violence to make up for the lack of tension.
I think they upped the violence because the story was bad.
They upped the violence
tension.
to make up for something.
There was some tension and there were some creepy moments. I think the violence exists in this movie because the story is not good.
Like, I would take, once again, did not like Scream 6, but the convenience store scene,
fine.
I didn't care for their attitude. The convenience store scene and the scene on the subway, I thought those were really good tense
Subway
scenes.
scene,
Yeah.
both those scenes were great. Yep.
But I don't think this had that.
Yeah, I once again, entertaining enough.
Also,
I was expecting the worst movie of the year.
Something else I brought up with the Scream team is whoever made the AI of Stu, I don't know how they figured out how he would look at this age, so they would have to find a photo of him at that time and say, hey, can you age him up 30 years? How would they have his voice? Would they have tried to find some archive footage to use there? Because I don't know how it would have made more sense in the first one. And I don't know how they would have known this at the time, is if someone was walking around with a little video camera getting Stu talking.
Well, Goo, wouldn't you know it? One of his best pals, Randy Meeks, was a movie buff and probably recorded all his friends all the time.
He never talked about that.
Just found it out.
Never talked about that.
He just figured it out.
And then also, so Stu does act a little silly.
Don't overthink the plot. It's not good.
It's
I'm
what
not
they
claiming
did
it's
with
good.
Stu.
I don't want to talk about Scream 7.
They did Stu dirty. So Stu is silly in the movie, live her alone. But he cranks it up in that final scene where it's just him, Billy, and Sydney. How would the people that made the AI Stu know to crank him up that high when talking to Sydney?
Well, he killed a lot of people, so I think he can get crazy.
So, Sydney, I'm here to get you. Yeah. Put your tongue back in your mouth, Matthew.
All right. Goo didn't like it. No, sorry. Goo hated it.
I
didn't mind it. That's a review of Scream 7.
Yeah.
Goo!
Yeah.
Next up is a movie that I will probably never see.
Okay.
And you saw with your wife, Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. Well, this is the most divisive movie in a while. I am seeing so much hate for it. I'm seeing some love for it. And the people that hate it and they see that other people love it, they're mad at them.
A lot of people have seen this movie, Goo. It's made $73.7 million domestically. It's up to almost $200 million worldwide. That's off an $80 million budget, so it's definitely made its money back already. It's an R-rated drama and romance movie based off a novel. This runs 136 minutes, so it is long, 2 hours and 16 minutes. On Roddy Tease, Goo, 58% from the critics, 76% from the audience. So 76% is confusing because the way I've heard several women talk about this movie, you would think it'd be about 90%. But then I hear you and other voices in the background being like, it's not that good.
I'm caught in an algorithm because my wife watched all the behind the scenes of this, which, by the way, that is really what the best part of this movie is. It's the set design. It's the attention to detail. That's going to be what made
the budget so high, right?
Like, it's a really nice looking movie. I believe it's on location. They spent a lot of time and effort creating a dollhouse of the house that is it, or of the house that it's inside of, and everything looks identical to it. The dresses in it look great. So they did a great job with that. The people that love the book refuse to accept anyone liking this movie. And if you do, we talked about this during News Dump, I've seen reviews, and I sent you a list of the reviews referring to those people as smooth brains.
Well, here's the thing, too. Like, everything's expectations based, right?
Yeah.
And so if you have a beloved book and you make a movie about it, when you decide to take liberties and loosely adapt the book, people are going to be pissed.
But let me tell you what Emerald Fennell did, who I've seen people, they're like, Emerald Fennell is the Colleen Hoover of directors. That's another people don't care for her.
Okay.
She sells a lot of books, though.
All right, yeah.
But so what she did is she put Wuthering Heights in quotations to be like,
yes.
Yeah. She did it on purpose, being
there was press about this movie about a month before it came out with Emerald Fennell talking about how this movie's inspired by the book. It's not really an adaptation of the book. And so people don't consume media, I guess, the way that we do, went in thinking it's a faithful adaptation. That said, only 24% of the book nerds, I guess, lampoon this movie. Some of those are the critics, though, 58% and a 55 on Metacritic. So I guess critics had higher hopes
here's
as
my
well.
issue with the movie. And Mac, I'll read the synopsis really quick. A passionate and tumultuous love story set against the backdrop of the Yorkshire moors, exploring the intense and destructive relationship between Heathcliff, not the cat. That confused me the whole
not
time.
Former Red Sox closer,
Anytime
Slocum.
someone said Heathcliff, I'm looking around for that little cat. It wasn't him. It was Jacob Elordi and Catherine. Catherine is played by Margot Robbie. Jacob Elordi is Heathcliff. The rest of the people, they don't matter. The cops say they don't matter. My issue with this movie is opening scene. There is a hanging. Someone is being hung. The person being hung gets an erection, and then people in the audience watching the hanging start like making out and like fondling each other and like doing over the pants hand jobs and stuff. And then
OTPH.
Well, so I'm like, okay, this is gonna be kind of like a perverted, sexy movie,
Saltburn type,
a little taboo, if you will. For the next 45 minutes to an hour, not a lot of taboo stuff, not a lot going on.
Here's my question for you, because once again, I'm never gonna see this movie.
Yeah, let's talk about taboo.
So, Emerald Fennell,
yes,
is the creator of the show Killing Eve. And also wrote and directed the two movies Promising Young Woman and Saltburn. I loved Promising Young Woman, starring Carey Mulligan. She was fantastic.
I loved most of it. Go ahead.
Saltburn, I had a weird viewing experience with it. I get why some people turned it into what it was. I didn't think it was that great. But that movie certainly took the torch from Promising Young Woman and got super taboo and weird and full hog.
Yeah.
Why then, in her third outing here, when she's got all the backing of everyone with two pretty successful movies, does she drop back with the taboo-ness?
So I'm thinking here, now that Catherine and Heathcliff are older, and Catherine still is, she's a bit of a prude. She's not quite there yet. And she witnesses two of the house hands getting down to some weird stuff in the stable. The woman puts like a horse harness on herself, and like there's a lot. So I'm like, okay, I think Catherine's going to see this, and now she wants to get into this type of stuff. What do we see? Is missionary.
We're talking missionary. We're talking missionary. We're talking she's in the bottom and I'm on top.
But not only that, it's like, it's that, and they're fully clothed. More clothing than when they're not having sex.
Yeah. So in my head, this was the opportunity for Emerald Fennell to really stamp her mark on a massive kind of pseudo blockbuster type of movie. But it seems like she went the other way, played it safe so that the big studio would want her back.
I would have done, so this is produced by Margot Robbie's company. And obviously you need Margot Robbie in it to make this amount of money. Sure, I do believe that.
Sure.
She is a true movie star,
by the way. This story is based on the novel by Emily Bronte. That's who we're talking
1847 about. Novel. Let's keep on saying 1847.
Yeah.
Because back in 1847, and I guess the book is like raunchier, but this is truly taboo stuff. I think this movie would have been better if you had someone else play Catherine, who maybe they were able to get a little bit looser with the rules.
An up-and-comer who wasn't making probably $30 million and is maybe trying to make their mark.
Because so like Jacob Elordi is becoming a star.
What we're talking about here is Margot Robbie in Wolf of Wall Street. That's sort of what we're talking about.
So this needed a little more raunchiness to it. It was, the horniness was inconsistent.
Yeah.
And
that's why I'm so curious, because
once we got down to them finally doing it,
Emerald Fennell was trending this way, and this movie brought it back down.
Like, you got to keep up that weird, consistent, hanging horny.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's got a stiffy.
Your wife's dog score, roughly, what do you think she gave it?
50. My wife loves this movie.
Your dog score is in what range?
25.
Okay, so barely passed.
Once again, I like the look of this.
Sure.
I appreciate the look.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that.
I appreciate the effort. The colors when they're outside are so fucking dull. It really shows you like, oh,
The
you want an
lens.
English breakfast?
Put a nice lens on.
Yeah,
that.
you want an English breakfast? Have this disgusting sausage and beans. This makes you, when watching this, you feel like you're eating a big bowl of beans.
Goo, next up
Yeah,
is a movie that I kept in the movie draft
you shouldn't have.
strictly because the director had showed some promise and it had a couple good stars. How to Make a Killing. This came out a couple weeks ago. It has made $6.3 million domestically on a $15 million budget. This movie is not going to make its money back. It is an R-rated comedy, drama, mystery, and thriller at 105 minutes, so it is brief enough. On Roddy Tease, 46% from the critics, 78% from the audience, a 51 on Metacritic. And I think I understand why. This movie is easy to watch.
But
I
let
don't
me
know if
also.
it's good, though.
So you said 105 minutes. It's short enough. I honestly thought the movie was 2 hours and 20 minutes. When I finished the movie,
I had a different viewing experience.
I thought it was. I walked out. My wife's like, "Oh, I can't believe it was only 105 minutes," and it blew my brain, thinking I really thought it was well over 2 hours.
You've had a couple rough theater experiences, I suppose.
I liked the really big screen movie I just saw.
I thought this movie was made for the commoner. For
Well, that's what
someone
Glenn Powell does.
Yeah, but it's an A24 movie and a $15 million budget. I would have thought they would have got a little grittier. And, Goo, I say that because this movie is written and directed by John Patton Ford, who wrote and directed the movie Emily the Criminal from 3 years ago or 2 years ago, starring Aubrey Plaza, that we both borderline loved. That was a really underrated
didn't
movie
see
from a
that.
couple years. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the one that told me to watch it.
No, I never saw that.
Okay. That movie is one of the better and more underrated movies of the last 3 or 4 years. And for that guy to make this movie was very confusing because this is the polar opposite. That is like subdued, gritty, character driven. This was not at all any of that. And Goo, you know what this movie does that I hate 99% of the time? It opens at the end point and goes back, let me tell you how we got here. And I was like, we're doing this fucking thing. Synopsis: disowned at birth by his obscenely wealthy family, a blue-collar man will stop at nothing to reclaim his inheritance, no matter how many relatives stand in his way.
So it needs to say blue-collar, very handsome man. Because while he is, yes, blue-collar, because of how he looks, he's able to slip in with anybody.
You wanted Steve Buscemi in the role.
If you had Clint Howard as the main actor in this movie,
Yeah.
I think we're cooking.
Good. This movie stars Glenn Powell as the main actor, Beckett Redfellow, Margaret Qualley as Julia, who's largely wasted, Jessica Henwick as Ruth, who I thought was great. She's the only redeeming quality in this movie. And Ed Harris as Whitelaw Redfellow. And essentially, this movie just hopes you really love Glenn Powell doing kind of fun stuff. It's like, it's so, for what is going on screen and the potential of this story, it plays it so safe and it's so
misses
innocent.
out on the fun factor that could have been had.
Yeah, it's just it's disappointing.
Because even the
I don't
family
think
members,
it's bad. It's lazy.
the family members that we go and we kill are so generic and
Yeah.
boring.
Yep.
It felt like different movies, obviously, but it felt like, what was the David Harbour Santa movie?
That one.
Yes. When you drop Santa, where I think
Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't know.
I don't think so. So when you drop the fun Santa killings in there, that's fine. But then you get to the family where it's all these generic rich people that we've seen in the past. There's no fun to it.
There's no character building and establishing
it's
in this
faceless.
at all. Yeah. And Glenn Powell's decent. Margaret
Glenn Powell,
Qualley's
has he
wasted.
done this a lot in his other movies where he like
Yeah, he definitely does that.
does it a lot? Ask me a question.
Goo, what's your name?
I'm doing the mouth thing
Like
right
that
now.
what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm having a hard time with
He
you staring
sinks
like
his
that.
jaw into
I
his
said
neck.
your name and then asked you your name is what I was getting at. Goo, Jessica Henwick
Me amo goo.
shows great emotion in this movie. She's like the backbone of the movie.
Yeah.
There's not enough of her, and we don't care enough about Glenn Powell's character to really fully get the emotions in this movie. But I felt like this movie did just enough for me to not hate it. Like, it's decent. It's okay.
Did you like its 15 twists at the end?
Yeah, I think Like, this strikes me as a movie that would do well on TNT in 12 years. You know, like it's a cable TV movie.
I think it's missing a little bit.
It's of the ilk, though.
I think it's missing the
Sure.
fun factor of what you need to be on there.
It's not the best cable TV movie, but it's of that quality.
Also, when you got to their final twist, I don't think that would have been allowed. I'm not a lawyer or nothing.
Like, if you tell me Glenn Powell, Margaret Qualley in this like psychosexual murdery movie, my expectations were so much higher. So much higher.
That's a good point. Out of these movies, I feel like, because we were on an upswing of like movies were getting sexy again. Now they're kind of getting de-sexied.
I have this like, right, it's not sinking, it's not floating. It's 24 hot dogs.
I'm right around the same.
I'm probably never going to watch it again, but I'm not mad at the movie.
I think I'm disappointed by it. I thought it was an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about Glenn Powell anymore.
That's my takeaway as well. I liked his outings more than you did last year, but I'm starting to think that maybe Glenn Powell's not all he's chalked up to be.
I think we need Glenn Powell as the bad boy again. We keep giving him like the starring, the protagonist.
Yeah.
We need him to be the ant.
Now, dude, they were in the same movie. You know who should be playing these Glenn Powell roles? Miles Teller. Miles Teller is better at being Glenn Powell than Glenn Powell.
I was trying to think of someone because I don't know how much I like Glenn Powell's charisma. I think it's a little.
You know his charisma, Miles Teller.
Stop with Miles Teller. Get Miles Teller out of my face.
Miles Teller?
I think Glenn Powell is just like so straight down the middle, making movies for everybody. Which that's something that you want to have a goal with too.
He's a poor man's Ryan Reynolds.
I was going to say someone that I think would have done a better job in this, and I wouldn't want him to waste his time, is like a Ryan Gosling.
No. Don't bring the Goss.
You give me silly Goss. I want silly Goss.
You got Goss on the mind because you just saw the Goss. Powell is doing weak-minded Ryan Reynolds, not Ryan Gosling.
I'm saying I'd prefer Gosling, though.
Of course, we'd all prefer Goss.
So that's what I'm saying.
All right, fuck you.
All right. What's the next movie?
Final movie up on the day is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Fun name for a movie, fun concept for a movie. This has made $8.2 million worldwide so far on a $20 million budget. It's also not going to make its money back.
They weren't expecting it to make its money back, though.
Yeah, it is an R-rated action comedy and sci-fi, running 2 hours and 14 minutes, so it's on the long end. However, on Rotten Tease, 82% from the critics, 86% from the audience. By far the best movie we're talking about today, sans Project Hail Mary. On Metacritic, a 66. This movie is written by Matthew Robinson, who wrote The Invention of Lying, Monster Trucks, Dora and the Lost City of Gold, Love and Monsters. Very weird writing history for him. Upcoming, he's got 4 things on the slate. Well, 2 confirmed, 2 not so confirmed. 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank, 11/81/7. And he was the writer attached to the Patty Jenkins Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie that was alive, dead, killed, back. Who knows where that's at. And he's also signed on to the Live, Die, Repeat sequel. Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Working title. This movie is directed by Gore Verbinski, who also has a very curious history. He was the director of Mouse Hunt, The Ring, 3 Pirates movies, Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, Rango, The Lone Ranger, which was terrible, and A Cure for Wellness. He hasn't directed a movie in like 7 years, He comes back to direct Sam Rockwell in this. I have not seen it. You have. So I'm curious what your thoughts are. Synopsis: a man from the future arrives at a diner in L.A. where he must recruit the precise combination of disgruntled patrons to join him on a one-night quest to save the world from the terminal threat of a rogue artificial intelligence. Once again, Sam Rockwell stars as the man from the future.
Yeah, so spoiler-free here, very, very quickly. I enjoyed this movie, but it felt like a bad episode of Black Mirror.
Oh. A bad episode of Black Mirror is horrible.
No, I'm sorry. A middling episode of Black Mirror.
Okay. All right. One you didn't regret watching.
One I didn't regret watching, but not one of their better ones. I think that anytime Sam Rockwell's character is not on the screen, you're asking everyone else in the room, I wonder where Sam Rockwell went.
Well, I was going to ask you, Goo, and now it's a dumb question considering what you just said, but I was going to say this or Project Hail Mary.
Oh, Project Hail Mary, easily.
Okay. Right.
So it's a great cast. I feel like when they're giving the backstories to the other characters and why they're being selected to go on this mission, it takes a long time to get through those. They're okay. There's an interesting little story that goes with the Juno Temple character that I thought there was a funny line with it, but they could have gone a little differently at the end with it. I liked it, didn't love it. I think it is a wait until it's available for free on a streamer and check it out.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to get to it in the next week or two. Like you said, Juno Temple's in here. Haley Lou Richardson, who I really like. Michael Pena, Zazie Beetz. So it does have a decent cast. I probably will enjoy it if it's in the right setting. But I think this is another one, not quite on the How to Make a Killing level, where the promise outweighed what we actually got, which is disappointing because the tease for the movie was so great. All right, quick, catch you up on some quick TV. What have you been watching lately? For some reason, Goo doesn't watch television anymore. He was the TV guy once upon a time. I finished Fallout Season 2, as everyone did a few weeks back, and I think it was a little underwhelming. Not up to snuff with the quality of Season 1. I know they're world building and widening things, but I was kind of disappointed on it. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't watch another episode of that show, and I wouldn't be too upset about that. I'm also fucking balls deep in The Pit, Goo. The Pit's gotten a lot of love this year for Season 1. I finished Season 1 a couple weeks ago. I'm 2 episodes into Season 2. It's the best show on television. I started that, and it's about an ER in Pittsburgh. It's a teaching hospital. I started it having some knowledge of those settings, and I was like kind of snobby about it, didn't care about it. And then by the end of the first season, I wanted more. I wanted so much more. I'm so in on it. So if you're watching The Pit, let me know. I do think it's the best show on TV right now. Survivor Season 50 premiered this past couple weeks. I think second episode just came out last night. It's a pretty good cast. I think it's going to be a really strong season. So if you're watching Survivor, feel free to tweet at me. In an alternate timeline, I have a very popular Survivor podcast. I don't know what timeline that is, but that's the only... Survivor's the only thing I would like to talk about on a weekly basis that's not movies. So I like that. And then Goo, one final tease. We opened with a tease for you on #Dork this week. We'll close. I was also on #Dork this week with Adam Jones and Christopher Schei, and we were talking The Traitors Season 4. Wildly entertaining season of television. If you're into reality TV, competition reality TV, and shit like that, I highly recommend watching The Traitors and listening to that episode.
I also listened to the entire Johnny Knoxville interview with Conan O'Brien earlier in the week, and he said that he's been trying to pitch Traitors on a Jackass season.
The great thing about Traitors is you can take that format or something like it and drop it into any sort of group like Jackass, and it would be wildly entertaining.
Also, much like I said in News Dump, I recommend, I believe the 3rd episode might be out by now, but the revival of Scrubs.
Okay. I'm not going to recommend that.
Let's get into MacSack.
And MacSack could be anything. It could be a boat. And Mac, I was suggested a reel on social media of the Dudes on Dudes podcast. That is Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Of Edelman asking Gronkowski what his favorite Asian food is. After Gronk had a second to think about what Asia is, and Edelman told him, like, China.
Yeah.
They eventually got into the conversation of what their favorite Asian food is. I want to ask you, because you are the king of pad thai.
I am.
Can you please rank your favorite Asian foods? I'm saying like the big general Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, and then I'll do some Filipino stuff after. But
okay. So at the bottom for me is Indian food. It's too spicy. I haven't tried enough of it. It's more my ignorance to it because the spice level has turned me off to it. So it's not my thing.
But they have naan.
It's not. I do love naan.
Naan's the best.
It's just not my thing. Next up, I guess Korean. I like Korean food, but specifically Korean fried chicken is so good. I don't really dive into too much of Korean food though, so that's got to be next. Now it's tough though. So you have Chinese food, Thai food, pad thai, Japanese sushi, And Vietnamese, a banh mi sandwich is fucking delicious.
They're so good.
It's so good.
A little peanut
That would
in
be my
there,
Mount Rushmore.
sweet.
Chinese, Thai, Japanese, Vietnamese. Chinese has the most versatility or the wider amount of options, I guess, at least here stateside. Japanese, there's a lot of options too. I'm really been on a sushi kick. So I'd go Japanese 1, Chinese 2. I guess 3 would be Thai for pad Thai. And then Vietnamese would be 4, but I love a banh mi sandwich. Korean 5, Indian 6.
Yeah, I think, and granted, I love Vietnamese food. I think I'd have that closer to the bottom. Korean, there's a lot of Korean places by where I live. The Korean fried chicken is awesome. There's it's a fusion of Korean and Mexican by my house. So they make
You're
Korean
in a great
dishes.
area for Asian and Asian fusion foods.
I love that. Indian, I only have certain dishes there, but I love chicken tikka masala. I love naan. I can eat just bowls of that. And the sauce, I ask for it as spicy as possible. Try and kill me. Do your best.
It will kill me.
Thai food, I really only eat pad Thai.
Yeah, but it's versatile and it's so good. And I just love pad Thai.
I might slip Filipino right around here. Granted, I usually only like my mother-in-law's food because then when I try other people's food when it's the same dish, I don't like it. So maybe it's very specific to how she makes her sinigang or her chicken adobo. Actually, chicken adobo is good everywhere. I will say that. But also, and she doesn't really make this, but I love sisig, which is it's pig jowl mixed with like onions, egg. It's really, it's very crunchy. It's delicious.
I'm a big texture guy when it comes to food, by the way.
Sometimes you get a little bit of bone in there, a little bit of cartilage.
Like the right textures, it makes or breaks the dish.
Chinese, but it's very hit or miss.
I mean, that's true, but when it's at its best, you really can't beat it.
Then we look at, do I only have Japanese left?
Yeah.
Yeah, Japanese is number 1. I love sushi.
Yeah, I
love
think
sushi
I
so
agree
much.
with you. And Japanese versus Chinese. The Japanese cuisine feels a little lighter than the Chinese cuisine, so you don't feel as shitty after you eat it.
Teriyaki chicken. You go to the mall and you get free samples of teriyaki chicken, living like a king.
Teriyaks.
Okay, so mine was Vietnamese, Korean, Indian, Thai, Filipino, and you can probably flip those actually. Chinese, Japanese.
Yeah, we got the same top 2. I went Indian, Korean, Vietnamese, Thai, Chinese, Japanese.
But once again, Gronk didn't know what Asia was.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
What do you mean? Like China?
It would have been hilarious if he just named like Russian foods because he wouldn't be wrong.
I mean, Russia, but I feel like the Russian foods, unless he's talking about like certain meats that you can only find in Siberia.
Have you had Mongolian food? There's a couple. There's a I don't know if it's still there. There's a Mongolian restaurant in Watertown Square that I haven't tried. I'm just aware of it. But it could be closed. The last time I noticed it was a couple of years ago. I have no idea if it's still there or not.
We'll rank Asian. Oh, we just did Asian. We'll rank European foods next week.
Okay.
Mac, where can the people find us?
You can find us on X and on Instagram at Mac and Goo Podcast. Every other platform where you're Mac &Goo. Mac Shift 7 Goo. That includes Facebook, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Spreaker, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify, more importantly, Apple Podcasts. Get on there, rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars. If you do that, we'll get you a free T-shirt and an alternate timeline of the Mac.
Oh, we don't have any T-shirts. Don't expect it.
From Watertown Sportswear. That's Watertown Sportswear, 34 Mount Auburn Street in Watertown. WatertownSportswear.com, expert screen printing and embroidery.
TeePublic.com, merch. We're going to have the awards next week. We're going to do it. We need a very specific time that we record.
It works because the Oscars are in a couple of weeks. Anyway,
exactly.
So.
I think it's actually the Sunday after we put out the awards.
Okay. There you go.
So we need to do it for next week.
It's our money, and we need it now.
But I can't record it here at work because it's going to be a 7-hour podcast, and people are going to start talking.
I got a busy nightlife these days, Stu.
I sleep. I play Pokemon Fire Red. That's all I do at night.
I was up to midnight playing Pokemon Leaf Green the other night.
Oh my! It's just so.
If you guys are playing, if you're playing Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Switch, tweet us your teams. Goo and I are talking 90% about Pokemon,
strategy,
10% about this podcast.
It's all about strategy now.
Yeah. But now your next playthrough, I also think what I realized, so on the original versions, you could have 3 save files on the Game Boy. I think on Switch, you just have to create a new profile. And then
So
start the game.
I have 3 profiles. I have mine, my wife's, and my son's. So I'll probably first off, because I kind of hijacked his game.
Yeah.
I'll probably just start a new game for him on his own page.
Yeah. Smart.
While I give all my cool nicknames.
And you're going to have to trade with me at some point because you didn't buy Leaf Green.
Also, and I've been telling you about this, is I've been getting a suggested reel of a woman who named her Charmander Sharkwan. And every time she says it, it fucking kills me.
Yeah, and she's only using Sharkwan, no other Pokemon.
And then it evolves and she's like going nuts. Oh my God, Sharkwan. I'm so jealous. All right, so Tuesdays are Goose Days. I abuse kangaroos. Tim Burton.
Bye.
Please flip the cassette over to side B to continue the adventure.
Now it's time for girls jumping on trampolines.